Oh, Dave here. January 4th, '09. Hit over minus 40 last night with a wind chill of 50 or over. Wonderful Saskatchewan. Siberia's got nothing over this. We live in our own personal gulags in this province. Wonder of wonders. 2 days ago, January 2nd, I turned on the radio and it was the Gormley talk show on the local radio station. And he had a guest host. John's off enjoying something, on a holiday. He takes quite a few. Probably in his contract. If he's going to do what he has to do to keep things quiet, he's going to get well paid for it. Well compensated for it. Anyways, I thought I'd try it again. I'd never heard this guy before. So I called. Usual story. What do you want to talk about? Who are you? Where do you live? That kind of stuff. I took a chance and told him, WCB. She said, you'll be on right away. Okay, but I have heard that before and then they left me sitting. But anyways, I got on right away and the guy let me ask a few questions, talk about what the compensation board is doing, breaking the law here, crimes against injured workers. And this guy agreed with me. He says they're not originally set up to make a profit, but the compensation board's actually listed here as a business and they're quite wealthy. Money off the blood of injured workers, I guess. But I was surprised. I got it on. As far as these doctors helping, I've had doctors in the past try and help me. And the one doctor, I don't know if I've ever said this before, but they slapped his wrist. He said there's other doctors involved now. They know all about me, and they were working on it. Then a couple months later, he was telling me how the compensation board was denying other claims, injured workers that he was representing, that he was, being a caregiver to. They were denying them their claims. They were showing them, don't screw with us. Don't stand up for an injured worker, And he said, I don't know what to tell you now. He said, you're going to need a lawyer, I think. Well, lawyers and politicians who steal my file. Lawyers I've paid in the past and they didn't do a bloody thing for me. Shirley Kahn, she's now living in British Columbia here. I don't know if she's practicing law, but terrible lawyer. At least when it comes to workers' comp, she is. Didn't say a word on my behalf. Not one. Send me bills. Lost my file for a while, just misplaced it. The original old altered one. But and same with therapists. Ones who tried to help me, I was just taken out of their care. I mentioned that before. So but I know that some doctors, the doctors who seem to side with the board, it's not beyond them to, it's within their capability. They'll call the police on you. They did on me, and all I did was ask them to examine my shoulder and spine more. Refused to. That's happened a few times. Threatening me, You put up with it. You have to. What are you going to do? Get a gun and go after them? You can't do that. But I noticed too, if you look at these people cross-eyed, they're real quick to call you threatening. I mean, they've got it every way you can think of. They're protected in every which way and manner. Nothing we can do about it. I'll be kind and say, in the doctor's case, it's incompetence. But I know if I was incompetent in my job as a welder, they'd still be dragging me into court. There would have been gas tanks blowing up and catwalks falling apart and trailer hitches coming apart and bogies coming off of trucks and all kinds of things. But they got away with it, and they retired a lot of them. I noticed, I've checked around, a lot of the ones that dealt with me over the years are retired now. Nice pensions at the taxpayers' expense again. And I've been drumming this into people's heads for years. I was saying this back in the 80s, that the general public, if you've dealt with a lot of people, they got enough on their own plates, I guess, you know. They figure that if we're entitled to it, we're going to get it, and if we're not getting it, then we're defrauding the system. Well, I've tried to have them take me to court over this, because I tell these taxpayers that are healthy and working that it comes out of their pockets when we get denied any help, or what is rightfully ours. And it's a right. It's not a, you know, it's a bloody right. Workers' comp is a right. You can't expect people to do what we do in this country without being insured. But I've asked the board years ago to take me to court, because you know, insurance companies have no problem charging somebody with trying to defraud them. Charge me with fraud then. Let's let the chips fall where they may. I'll go to court. I was told lots of times, that'll never happen. I don't think we have to ask why. I've also offered a lie detector. You know, I'll take a polygraph. I have no problem with that. But at the same, I want to ask them questions. I want Brock Taylor to sit down, get strapped in, get hooked up, and I want to ask him some questions. That'll never happen either. He doesn't want to get caught, does he? Same with Lauren Calvert. Be interesting to hear his answers, wouldn't it? And Campbell, that drunk, you know, the guy that goes to Hawaii and gets drunk and drives around threatening people's lives with his car. He gets voted in. Wonder of wonders. I don't understand it. Klein, another guy from Alberta, gets drunk, has his chauffeur drive him down to the hostel, and he goes in there and calls all these people in the hostel lazy and deadbeats. He's driving around on the company time for free. And they were saying about Lauren Calvert, he'd never get caught, he's too smart. That's what people know about Calvert. He's a street fighter. Dirty little weasel. Anyways, I've covered over the years, I've covered all the stuff I'm hearing on here. I've been to the human rights, and I'm not making this up. This is what they asked me. Of what minority am I? I said, excuse me. He said, well, what minority? I said, well, I'm an injured Canadian. Oh, well, that's not good enough. I'm a white European if you want to go into ancestry. Oh, no, we can't help you. Jesus Christ. Endangered species. Anyways, I told one immigration officer he was out looking for an immigrant who was here selling drugs, and the guy fled the apartment before they could get there. Must have had warning or something. Everything was still in his apartment. A week later, it was still the same way. So, but anyways, I asked this guy, would it be if I just leave the country and change my name? Could I get back in? He said, no, you're too Canadian. Anyways, I'm getting ready for the bullets. You have a good one. Thank you.